I'm Madhu Sharma and this is Design Mind. Every episode, we teach your mind about design by analysing a website. In this episode of Design Mind, we are looking at Protest Boardware, which sells surfing-inspired clothes. The website is in Dutch, so there might be some language barriers in this analysis. Clothing websites are often overloaded with choices, but as we will see, Protest uses its design to provide plenty of choice without causing bewilderment. Let's start by looking at the home page. The home page is brilliantly simple, featuring a choice of 3 categories. Compare this to other fashion websites, such as this one, which is overloaded with choices. The use of these 3 links is very clever, as shoppers are often only interested in one option, so it allows them to be quickly funneled to just the content that interests them. Hovering over each of the links shows a large image of the products in an outdoor setting. Like a lot of fashion sites we have analysed on Design Mind, the products let users buy into a particular lifestyle. Protest is for people who want to explore the outdoors with friends and be free and adventurous. These large images instantly form this association. Clicking on one of those categories takes us to this overview page. The user can then click here to start shopping, or alternatively, they can scroll down the page. Scrolling down the page exposes the user to key content on the site, such as news and competitions, collections, meet the team, and videos. Each content item has been segmented into its own slide. I'm in 2 minds about this overview page. On the one hand, it is a brilliant idea, as with a simple scroll, the user can experience everything the site has to offer. The use of slides ensures nothing is overpowering, but allows each item to have plenty of impact. On the other hand, the scrolling is a bit of a chore. Websites have traditionally used thumbnails and other such devices to highlight content. For example, if we look at apple.com, we can see these thumbnails on the bottom perform the same function. Thumbnails probably work better, as the user can see everything at a glance without having to scroll first. The interface of this page has a few other issues. The interface is also used on the lookbook page, so we will go over these issues later on. Let's move on to analysing the category pages. We've mentioned earlier how fashion websites are usually overburdened with choice. Protest doesn't suffer from this thanks to its design, which makes excellent use of contrast and hierarchy. The navigation links are sectioned off in this flat colour area, which becomes the secondary visual element of the page. This allows it to house plenty of links. For example, we have the breadcrumb menu at the top, collection lists, and categories. However, by being sectioned off, it's not overpowering. This allows the products to be the primary visual element thanks to the use of white space, which in turn allows them to remain the main focus of the page. The product photography is especially good, as the angle creates a 3D physical feel. We've discussed in previous Design Mind episodes about how simulating a physical feel for products establishes a stronger connection, as it makes the products feel more real and tangible. Hovering over the products makes them rise up, which is a nice touch. The captions, however, have a few issues. There's too much space between them and the products, which sometimes can make it a bit difficult to know which caption relates to which product, especially when scrolling midway down the page. I'm also not sure why the price is in bold. Surely it would make more sense to emphasize the title. Let's look at the actual product pages. These follow the design of the category pages, except it's switched around as the grey area is now used to house the primary information, such as product specs, purchase buttons, and pricing. This allows the white area to focus on the product itself. This white product area starts off with a large image. When hovering over it, this handy plus icon appears, allowing the user to zoom in on the photos. The zoom works really well. The user can pan with the mouse, and the whole action is very natural and intuitive. One minor nitpick is that the close button is oddly placed here. Closing is quite a different function from zooming, so it would have been better if it was placed separately on the right. Scroll down and we can see the title, which overlaps between the photo and the information area. I really like the overlapping, as it naturally encourages the user's eyes to move between the two sections. This grey box neatly frames off the area. Scroll down and we can see there are alternative product suggestions. Overall, the product pages are very well done, thanks mainly due to this division between product details and purchase information, which makes the page easy to understand at a glance. Let's move on to the lookbook section. The lookbook contains an excellent magazine-style layout and, like the rest of the site, uses a clear hierarchy between primary and secondary information. As we saw earlier with the overview page, the content functions like a slideshow. A slick sliding animation is used when scrolling between the slides. To help with the scrolling, the mouse turns into an arrow depending on where the user's mouse is. For example, here it is a down arrow, and when I move up here, it becomes an up arrow. I think these arrows are unnecessary and can be a little bit distracting due to their size. They are also a little bit confusing, as on the web, one usually uses a scroll bar to move forwards instead of clicking on a certain area of the page. You might have noticed that as we scroll, this black arrow on the right hand side keeps on moving in and out of the page. Clicking on it displays a breakdown of all the products used in the photograph on the left. This breakdown doesn't always fit on screen and there isn't a scroll bar to see more. Instead, it automatically moves up and down in sync with the user's mouse position. To be honest, I don't think this section works that well. The black arrow is quite easy to miss as we scroll through the page. This is probably why they have given it a bouncing animation to make it more noticeable. However, the animation looks broken and like a glitch, which will increase the likelihood of it being ignored. Given how large the slides are, it would have been better to place a list of products at the bottom of each photograph, which is often how lookbooks in fashion magazines work. Other than these minor quibbles, this section is an excellent way of providing inspiration for customers. Let's move on to the TV section, which displays all the video content Protest has made. Again, like the rest of the site, this uses a lovely clean layout. I really love the animation that is used when scrolling down the page, as it makes the list of items less overwhelming by drawing attention to the next item on the list. Even then, the list is perhaps a bit too long. But if we go to the top of the screen, we can see this category bar that allows the videos to be filtered by type, making the list more manageable. Let's move on to the team section. This section displays sportsmen and women that are either sponsored by Protest or at least use their products. The layout is quite similar to the TV page. Clicking on one of the photos takes the user to their profile page, where they can find a detailed rundown on each person and their interests, together with the protest clothes that they wear. A wonderful animation is used to bring the products into view. As explained earlier, Protest is not just selling clothes, but is a lifestyle brand, and a profile section like this forms the connection to the sporting lifestyle. Let's finish by looking at the navigation and the responsive design of the site. The navigation is brilliantly done, with an excellent use of submenus to ensure that there is always enough choice for the user, but never too much to make browsing a chore. I especially like the use of different colours at the top to differentiate each section, and the subtle animations that are used to show the hover states of each link. On mobile, the navigation functions like an app menu, with sub-menu trees making it easy for the user to drill deeper into the site. Each section has its own menu to assist with navigation, and the search box is always present, which saves the user from having to scroll through menus if they know the name of the exact item they want. While on the subject of mobile, as you'd expect, the responsive design of this site is mostly excellent. The clean hierarchical design claps down brilliantly on portable devices. Even some of the more complex pages, such as the lookbook, function quite well on mobile. Overall, Protest is an excellent site, that makes great use of hierarchy and contrast, together with some interesting design ideas such as the lookbook, to create an inviting web experience. That's it for this episode of Design Mind. A new episode of Design Mind is released every Monday and Thursday. Find us on the web at designmind.info. Our YouTube channel is at youtube.com/designmindinfo. You can also find us on iTunes. We'd love it if you could leave us a review at any of these places. Until next time, happy designing!